So Republicans cannot deny the momentum that Zohran Mamdani built up in the Democratic primary for the New York City mayor. He toppled Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo, of course, being very establishment, being very boring, and Zohran Mamdani speaking to young people, speaking to men in a way that's very distinct within the Democratic Party. He walked 13 miles across Manhattan, campaigning, talking to people. Marjorie Taylor Greene noticed this. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, The Independent reports, initially reacted to Mamdani's victory with an edited image of the Statue of Liberty cloaked in a burqa. That is typical classless Marjorie Taylor Greene nonsense, right in the league of Andy Ogles or Charlie Kirk or Laura Loomer. But she now calls his campaign unique and smart. In an appearance on Steve Bannon's podcast on Real America's Voice, Greene attributed Mamdani's apparent win over the frontrunner, Andrew Cuomo, to having talked directly to the people. That's right. That's right. There's not this barrier of, I'm a politician and you are a civilian and I need to get your vote and let me tell you how special I am. No, that was not there from what I saw with Mamdani's campaigning. He did talk to people like he was just a normal guy, like, hey, civilian to civilian here. And all too many politicians, Democratic and Republican, typically lack this. They, especially those who are more establishment in nature, they become career politicians. They become very set in their ways of, being calculated, being polished, acting like they are on a pedestal. She said Mamdani was focused on their issues, focused on their problems, and talking to the people about his solutions. Greene added, quote, I think it's extremely important that we get a hard focus on solving our problems, and that's what people really want. And that guy that won the Democratic primary in the New York mayor's race, I've watched quite a few of his videos, and he did something pretty unique and very smart, even though I don't agree with anything he says. Okay. She is telling it like it is here in terms of the style of the man. Obviously, Marjorie Taylor Greene is wrong about almost every policy, and her style is utterly ridiculous. You could say that she at least acts authentic, authentically maniacal, authentically inflammatory. And so, yeah, she's able to recognize when someone else is being authentic in a more good way, in a more wholesome way. Like, hey, let's go talk to these fellow New Yorkers. Let's find out what's going on in the city, what the city wants. Send Andrew Cuomo back to the suburbs. That was what he said in one of his videos. So yeah, she's able to recognize when someone is not talking like a typical polished politician. So she continued, he really ran a campaign where he talked directly to the people. When we are not talking to the people and not working on the people's problems, we lose the people and the people will turn elsewhere, she concluded. While the Georgia lawmaker is no fan of Mamdani, acknowledging his abilities on the campaign trail is of note amidst the torrent of Islamophobic bigotry otherwise directed at the man who is likely to become the next mayor of New York City. Yeah, the torrent of bigotry is, in a way, a tacit acknowledgement of Mamdani's strength in his campaign. It's like an acknowledgement that, okay, whoa, this guy's a threat. Whoa, this guy touches people's hearts and souls. This guy makes people want to vote for him. And obviously, it's the city of New York. It's not the entire state of New York. It's not anywhere else in the country. So it speaks to New York City. But, how much can we apply what we learned from New York City to the rest of the country? That's the question. Obviously, New York City is blue. It's more progressive. Could you do it in a more red city? Maybe not, but maybe it could. Maybe they'd love that authenticity. So yeah, Greene is onto something here. I give her credit for acknowledging this, although shame on her for that burqa Statue of Liberty post. That's just, the ugliness that comes out when people feel just viscerally insulted by election results, where it's like, oh no, someone I really don't like won. And you see this with so many right-wingers. There were just onslaughts of tweets, people like Matt Walsh, Laura Loomer, Charlie Kirk, even like center-left types kind of, just being like, oh, you don't like this guy, oh, foreigner, Muslim, socialist, communist, I don't like that. They don't like it, and they don't like seeing someone like that be successful. The right is really showing how more and more they are triggered by the idea of someone not born in America winning an election in America. Now, let's ask them what they think about Elon Musk being in the federal government without even being elected. Elon Musk was not born in America, and Elon Musk does not really speak directly to people. Not that he needed to because he got put in there without an election, but yeah, just some interesting hypocrisy. But overall, Greene is on point here. He spoke to people. And obviously that's a figure of speech because all politicians literally do speak to people, but speaking to them like person to person, like, hey, what do you want? I want to be in touch with you, and not acting like a robot, not acting like, a stereotypical establishment swamp creature who is prepared and who is basically reading off of cards that they don't have in their hand. That type of stuff, sounding like you're on a teleprompter all the time, can be problematic. And even, great public speakers, people who did speak to people like Barack Obama read from teleprompters, so I'm not saying that's inherently bad. But yeah, sounding unscripted, sounding like you're connecting with people, sounding like you want to understand people is a great, great asset in a primary or in a general election. Yeah, and then his ability to talk to men, actually. I saw some clips of him talking to men in a way that really just energized them. So if Democrats can kind of regain this grip on men, or at least, start to creep up, do a little better than they did in 2024, that would be a very good sign going forward. If they can capture the energy of Mamdani in the presidential race in 2028 or in the midterms, then I think they'll do a lot better with young people and men. And they are still doing better with young people overall than Republicans are, but not with men. They did worse with young people in 2024 than in 2020. And so they need to pump those numbers up, and they can pump those numbers up by speaking more directly to the American people. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. This is the more the merrier, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video.